Hello again, ladies and gentlemen, Sonic Yoda from SEGADriven.com, and welcome back to the SEGADriven YouTube channel. It's LCD game time again, and we're looking at another Tiger Electronics port of an existing Sega game, and this time, as you have already seen by the title and the thumbnail of this video, it's Outrun. So yeah, this is the handheld version of the Outrun LCD game. You may be a little bit more familiar with the deluxe version because images of that get around quite a bit, and it's quite a beast of a thing. It is an enormous sort of front half of a car, and the Ferrari Testarossa in particular. And yeah, it's this game that's on this handheld version basically embedded into the dashboard of that enormous car, and you use an actual steering wheel instead of just, you know, buttons and a D-pad. So yeah, a little bit more involved, and certainly a striking looking thing. But the game itself, it's this, and we're going to play this, and I'm going to show you what that is all about, basically. So I've said Tiger Electronics. This is obviously distributed in the UK by Grandstand, but yeah, as you can see on the back here, copyright 1988, Tiger Electronics Limited. So yeah, developed by Tiger Electronics Limited, but actually distributed in the UK by Grandstand, who distribute a lot of handheld electronic games of this LCD type. So yeah, you will be familiar with this if you live in the UK. If not, you're probably more used to seeing the Tiger Electronics logo on these things. Anyway, let's stop mucking around and actually put the thing on. What are you expecting? Because I think if you're familiar with any LCD driving game, you'll be pretty much expecting a 3-lane driving game where you avoid cars and move in and out of the different lanes. So let's find out if that's the case here. And let's go. Oh, there. That's one lane, that's a second lane, and that's a third lane. Oh, and here's a car to avoid. And also we've got corners, look at that. You actually have to lean into the corners, otherwise you will basically dash off the road and crash, like so. So yeah, there is some actual, game to this. I'm not doing particularly well because I'm having to talk and play at the same time, and I'm obviously not doing a good job of that. There we go. Basically, the easiest thing to do, I think, is to look for the chevron telling you what direction you need to be holding the directional pad. Oh. You can brake as well. Don't know why you want to, but it is a thing that you can do. Oh, let's move to the right so we don't smash into that car. You know what? Perfectly playable thing. I'm not doing too good because having to play games through the lens is not a particularly great way of doing it, but I can just about see what I'm doing. Let's see if we can actually get to the end of the stage. Oh, actually the paths are splitting. And I guess we've gone into a different stage. Yep. So it actually has the mechanics of Outrun. You do have... let's go. Oh, there we go. Yeah, well, I mean, like, you know, mechanically, that's Outrun. You've got cars to avoid and a track to go around and cornering to do, and you can shift into higher speed. You know, on the Outrun machine it's just low and high gears, but that's pretty much, you know, a good approximation of what Outrun is, and you've actually got the branching paths like an actual Outrun game. Do you know what? Quite impressed with that, to be honest with you. And what with it being one of these 3-lane sort of LCD driving games, pretty easy to understand what you're supposed to be doing. Quite responsive. Obviously, I'm not making it look particularly great because I'm having to play it through a lens, and yeah, you could probably play a lot better if you're actually looking at the screen directly. Case in point. But yeah, that's not bad at all. I'm quite surprised by how well that adapts to an LCD game. I think driving games generally do work better on LCDs as opposed to anything more involved like a platformer, for example. So yeah, that's Outrun by Tiger Electronics and Grandstand. Like I say, the deluxe version of this is basically the same game in a fancier case, but it is quite the thing if you've never seen it. There we go, I've failed, run out of time, and that's your lot. I have no idea what these songs are supposed to be. Hang on a minute. Is that is that supposed to be like the intro to Magical Sound Shower or something? Oh, I'd have to remind myself of what the songs from Outrun sound like. Can't really recall them right off the top of my head. Especially how they open. Enough. Enough! Yeah, that's an LCD version of Outrun, all right. Honestly, not nearly as bad as I was expecting it to be. Perfectly playable. Like I say, most driving games on LCD devices are these sort of 3-lane things where you just avoid traffic, but that has cornering and actual branching paths, that's Outrun, right? Well done, Tiger. That's not bad at all.